Tuning in to the online broadcast network, Afterbuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. Afterbuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What up, AfterBuzz? It's your boy DJ Jesse J here in studio for the AfterBuzz TV MTV's Battle the Challenge Bloodlines After Show.
Battle of the Bloodlines.
Let's try again. AfterBuzz TV's Battle of the Bloodlines, MTV's The Challenge AfterBuzz TV After Show.
Get it, Jesse.
I wanted to break into my carry underwear and just start right now. Yeah. I'm joined as you, I'm Miss Roxy Striar.
Oh my God, this show is flustering. I don't even know what to do.
I know what Abram would do.
Yeah, seriously.
He would dig his sledgehammer into the side of Carmarie's Thomas's car.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot to talk about.
Woo! I just have to breathe after that episode.
I really don't feel. I feel sick to my stomach after watching what we watched. I feel more sick after watching last night's episode than I did when I watched them eat cockroaches. Like, this makes me feel ill.
Interesting. I have to say, this is probably my favorite season of the challenge.
I think it is, at least in a long time. But I can't. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. I cannot look away. I cannot look away from the show. It is so effing good.
Excited for next week? Like, it's just like, what's going to happen next?
I have no idea. And last week they had 2 episodes, and I thought they were going to do this week, and I was so excited for it. Usually I'm like, 2 full hours. I was like, oh my God, give me more. I need more.
I wasn't even mad at them last week. And they got me to watch an after show. That finally I watched one where I was like, okay, I like this after show.
Because they put a little bit in the show. Yep. That was so smart of them. They put it in that commercial area or whatever. Oh my God.
Crazy. Let's talk about it. So Kara basically is struggling. She feels like she needs to keep Abram happy so he doesn't really blow up. So we're going to also get the steamer to call in for y'all. We have a Stump the Steamer question tonight,
First time this season, right?
What's that?
First time this season.
First time this season. So we can finally get the steamer's opinion.
Good. I need it.
Steamer, you know what number you need to be calling. They're looking out for you. So let us know when you get on the line. All right. So she wants to keep Abram happy so he doesn't blow up. Johnny is upset because he feels that Thomas and Steven, because of the hookup with Kara, it's like, well, you have an alliance here, and that needs to get broken up. And because I think that needs to be broken up, I feel like Abram deserves to know that he's being cheated on.
Right. I think that, a lot of this episode, there's 2 sides to the story. But in terms of this, can I blame Bananas and Vince for telling Abram? No, not at all. Do I think the majority of the reason they did it was because it was beneficial for their game?
Yep.
Yes, but I still think Abram deserved to know, so I don't really care.
Yeah, Johnny, it's like, was this the right game for him to play? Yeah, because, it's there. It was going to happen no matter he did it or someone else did it.
I just can't even believe it took this long.
Yeah, so we see Vince goes to tell Abram. I just hated the way it was talked about it. I think we got Steamer. Did we get you on the line?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, guys?
Steamer, we missed you.
Steamer, welcome to Bloodlines.
Thanks for having me.
What are you thinking about this season?
I don't know. I'm not as high on it as you guys are. I'm not liking most of the cast, but in terms of storyline, it's pretty good. So I can see why people who are into the relationships like it, but
I totally feel
I'm not
you on
overly
that.
feeling it.
I totally feel you in terms of the cast. The first episode, I was sitting there thinking, I don't even know half these people because they're Bloodlines, and then I don't know an additional few people because they come over from a freaking show that I've never even seen before, let alone heard of at first. But then I don't know, something about the way that the drama unfolded, the challenges they're doing, the pit that they had tonight.
I feel like we've
it.
seen the real world's like interweb sexual triangle for too long. And it's like, okay, let's stop the incest here. Let's get some new blood in here, because I'm without telling y'all the tea, I heard all the tea about next season.
Really?
Oh, y'all, like, I think I because this is the season I can say I'm not mad at Are You the One being there. I was at the beginning. Now I'm not. I'm not mad at the family.
I'm still mad.
Yeah, I'm not mad.
I'm a little
It's so
upset,
good, but I'm confused.
after seeing how things are unraveling this season, and then hearing about next season, I'm just like, I get it, MTV, and kudos to finding a way to pump in some life back into it, because the show was gonna tank.
Yeah, but I feel like the tough competitors go on the real world in order to go on the challenge. So now we're gonna have people going on Are You the One in order to get to the challenge?
I mean, whether it's finding your life or finding the love of your life, you know what I mean? Either way, you're going to end up in a challenge.
I guess.
I was going to call you Vince. Steamer, what are you thinking about the whole twist, though, with Abram showing up in the Cara and Thomas situation?
See, it just seems kind of contrived to me. Like, when Carol left, do you think you had any sort of idea that Abram might be coming in? I mean, it just seems forced. I don't know. There's something about it that doesn't really jive with me.
This is why I think they are all so stupid right now. Imagine the advantage you have if not only you have your cousin, your bloodline, but you also have your boyfriend who's kind of your bloodline. So on your team, you have your boyfriend, and on the opposite team, you have your boyfriend's brother, and you have your cousin.
Biggest alliance in the house.
Wouldn't you think that that's like an easy shoe-in for the Final Four?
I'm with Steamer on this. Honestly, Steamer, I haven't brought it to the table because here at AfterBuzz, this is the one show that I don't like to bring conspiracy theories with the producers, and I save it for the real world, Love and Hip Hop. But the challenge is, I like to believe that the producers, there's enough drama there. But it seems to me it's a little convenient that Cara wants to mess around with Thomas, who didn't want to hook up with the first girl because of he was in a relationship, but then he wants to hook up with Cara, and now here we are. Abram just shows up and is just hellbent. And just the way Abram's kind of going about it, he seems a little too diplomatic, unless he's on parole and knows he can't hit somebody right now.
Wait, so what part do you think is fake?
Meaning that the whole Cara having a relationship, because I do Real Housewives of Atlanta, and there are too many reality TV stars who talk behind the scenes and say, oh, you know what, basically someone from next season told me that there's somebody on the show who figures, oh, if I hook up with this person on this one, or I cause an argument with this one, I'll be able to be on Rivals, I'll be able to be on the exes, and they really think like that. There are some people. So I'm wondering if Abram and Cara well, hey, this way, now we can be on Battle of the Exes. We'll be able to get on Rivals. We'll be able to get on...
This doesn't seem like that to me.
Really?
I mean, unless Abram is the best actor of all time, which maybe he is, but I think that the show went to Abram. I don't think he was cleared before, because, they have to go through months of, their physicals and making sure that, they're clean and safe and whatever it is. And usually they have their entire cast, and then they have their second, third, and fourth teams that are home waiting. I feel like he might have been one of those teams, but one of those teams further down. So Cara Maria was
and they saw that this was happening. They were like, oh, let's throw him in.
So maybe he was already vetted, and Cara Maria was like, but there's no shot he'll actually get here. Or maybe he wasn't even freaking vetted, and they rushed him through the process. Because if she knew he was next in line to go, she would have to be a goddamn moron to do what she did. Or she would have to be doing it on purpose.
See, now, this was my theory before. When I saw the after show, I don't know, it does kind of look really creepy and scary. But, here we go. So Vince goes and tells Abram that Cara was beyond flirting. Vince, I just looked at him tell him. What the hell are you pussyfooting around?
Why was he doing that?
Oh, you know, like, they were doing, like, it wasn't like they were like this, but they were like, I don't know, people said they were in a bathroom for a long time. Like, they were screwing. Say it, because you don't know if they were or not. That's what bothers me, is that you're gutting around. Abram's sitting there like, well, what did they do? And you're like, well, I didn't see anything, but they were here for this amount of time.
This is what I would say.
And then when Abram was like, so you're just saying, and you're just saying that, you know, it could have. He was like,
no, I saw it.
Yeah, that's what I'm just. That part bothered me, unless it was edited weird. But it was just like, say what you saw. Don't try to or just come out and say, I think they fucked because I seen them go in the bathroom together.
Exactly. If I was Vince, I would have been like, here are the facts that I know.
Right.
Every day, she lays on top of him and gives him a massage. They make each other sandwiches. And one time, I saw them go into the bathroom together, and they didn't come out for a good 45 minutes. I heard some noises. I don't know what happened. You deserve to know that. Or, like you're saying, stir the pot enough and be like, I'm pretty sure they're screwing. You might want to ask her.
You pussyfooting around makes me think you're lying. Like, you don't really know what's going on. You're trying to stir it up just as much.
She seems so sketchy. If I were Abram, I would have been like, you're obviously lying. I'm not even going to confront her about that.
Which is why maybe actually Abram did calmly go over them. He walked over to Tom and Cara and was like, yeah, Vince told me that y'all hooked up. What?
Yeah.
Cara then later, after that whole situation, because Cara was like, oh no, they're lying, they're making up rumors or whatnot. Then Cara goes into the room to tell Abram she loves him. Not the best timing, girl.
He knows her so well, though. He goes, what follows that sentence? I love you. What's the next part? So obviously this damn thing's been going on so long. She always says that, I love you. I spilt milk on our favorite carpet. I love you. I cheated on you with the guy at the challenge.
And as we know, but negates everything. Mm-hmm. Steamer, what did you think?
I don't know. I never known what to make of their relationship. I mean, they hooked up on Cutthroat. That's when they got together. But then when the first Battle of Exes came along, they were exes, but they were still together. And just all throughout, like, it just seems like they're always on the verge of just being kaput. Yet somehow they just keep coming back together. So you never know what to make out of either one of them.
And a lot of, I'm not going to, without outing anybody, a lot of real worlders that we meet outside of this say that it's not a healthy relationship.
I think that something that Abe said tonight on the after show was that it's not anybody's place to like judge whether they should be together or not, which I understand.
Yeah,
but
if you're involving somebody, if you're involving other people and making it seem like you're in a harmful situation, though.
Right. Well, here's what I was gonna say. No, it's okay. They're going on television, which means that it's not necessarily like my opinion doesn't matter, but I'm allowed to have one because you're showing it to me. So I have an opinion, and my opinion is this: this is a toxic relationship, and I think that they're at times both in the wrong. I've heard a lot of people be like, Cara Maria is being abused, whether it's mentally or physically. People are speculating. I don't happen to be one of those who's speculating past mental abuse, but they think the way he treats her is really, really scary, and I understand that side. But at the same time, you've got Cara Maria, who openly just cheated on her boyfriend that she lives with. Not only did she do that, but she cheated on him
and then lied,
knowing who her boyfriend is, which is something that Abe says to her tonight. Don't you know who I am? Like,
and on national television, it wasn't like you like secretly did something so that you could just like get away and like he was gonna be safe. Like, you knew no matter what, Abram was gonna see you get like, oh, I didn't know the cameras were there behind me. Like, girl, bye.
Yeah, she says that in the after show, and I just think that they're both dead in the wrong, and I've seen relationships like this time and time again, and I feel bad for both parties because they can't seem to escape each other, and it's like, what will be the final straw that either makes you guys commit and be healthy, or that makes you guys say, we can't do this anymore? I don't see either of those things happening.
Nope. From there, you know, she said that all me and Tom did was give a couple massages, make some sandwiches. You know, Abram tells Cara, fine. All right, if that's all you did, he means nothing, then vote him in. And at that point, I was just like, all right, I had to give Abram a pat on the back because I know crazy people. And the fact that he was capable to not destroy anything in that situation, I commend him for that. And for him to say, okay, fine. if there is an alliance there, prove that to me by just voting him in. It shouldn't be that big a deal. You don't know the kid really. So if you're telling me that it ain't nothing, vote him in.
It's really hard to differentiate what's good for your relationship and your game in this point, though, because I don't believe what's best for Abe's game is to have Cara Maria vote in the twins. I think it would have been smarter to put in Bananas. However, he didn't do that because for his relationship, he believes like, hey, prove me wrong. You don't care about him. I get why he did it. It's such a power move. But like she said, I don't want my arm to be twisted. Like we've seen her say this time and time again. Like people are in her ear and she gets her arm twists and twists and twists. Sometimes she's a really strong competitor, but as a person sometimes not as strong, I think.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. We've seen time and time again, mentally she breaks down a lot. In this situation, it gets to a point of saying, stand your ground and say, hey, you know what? I'm not voting Tom. I'm not voting Steven. And because that's the deal that I made. And you can believe whatever you want to believe. I do not want to be with this person.
But she doesn't have that leg to stand on because she knows she did cheat on him.
That's all, and that's what. But that's all he's saying. Right. That's all he brought this up for. He could probably care less if he goes in. He just wants this boy to go home because he knows you're lying to me.
Right.
And to prove that you're lying to me, say you have trouble voting him in. You can still vote him in. And you're still a liar. Right. Because now you're just doing it. And we saw that, later on. Cara then throws... Abram calls out Thomas, so they get on the bus. And Abram calls out Thomas and the brother to basically with Cara about the whole deal in front of everybody. I loved it. Again, this is like stirring the pot to a whole nother level. Here we have Abram, just a freaking bull. Just coming in, tearing everything apart.
His laugh,
I loved it, though. No, the laugh scares me.
The laugh is scary, but this was... Bananas was like joking about finding the emergency row. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He scares me. And I have my own theories about him too that we'll get to later on when we see what happens in the pit.
I love the bus because I just think that is so funny to me when people like all these people have all these alliances and they don't want anyone to know. And here just Abram's like, I don't give a fuck. Whoosh, just lift the carpet up. Just, here's what's going on.
Like, you can't go anywhere
now.
Well,
look, he said there's no alliance. So, Cara, what are you saying here? So, wait, now you're lying again. Mm-hmm. Now, these two guys, you can't even trust what they're saying. He just, embarrassed the hell out of him. Steamer, what did you think of that?
The best part of that scene was the fact that nobody else was looking at him. Everybody besides Thomas, Steven, and Bananas were just looking the other side. They weren't looking out the window. They didn't want to focus on Abram at all. They just wanted to ignore it, hope it goes away.
That's what we hear Anissa say in tonight's episode. She's like, he comes over and I'm like, I don't even know my own name. I don't care. Nobody wants to deal with it.
And Cara, just to show even more so, about you not wanting to own up to anything, here she goes. Instead of saying, okay, she then throws Abram under the bus by saying, well, you're sitting here. Oh, now you're best friends with Johnny. You're this. Well, Johnny's keeping it real. They may hate each other, but he at least respects him enough to say, yo, your girl's in the bathroom doing ABC with...
But I love the fact that Abram gets up there and tries to throw the twins under the bus, and then Cara Maria comes back after him and shares the things that he said to her in confidence.
No, that's what I'm saying. It blows
makes no
my
sense.
mind.
That's supposed to be your man. You're living with him. This should be so obvious.
Thomas's face on this whole thing was just like, I can't look at him or else he'll kill me. And Abram brings up back massages, but this was the funniest part. He was like, when y'all getting back massages. And Tom was like, back massages?
Who said anything about back massages?
Cara told me back. And he just went back down. He was like, okay.
Yeah, well, she told you.
Thomas, you were really going to lie about that?
Yeah, I know. So sketchy. But we have to remember with Steven and Thomas, these are two frat boys who play tennis and beer pong and are very chill.
Well, we see that more so later on in the pit. I felt that really showcased that.
Absolutely, but when we're sitting here thinking Abe compared with Tom, they're completely different. They're cut from different cloths.
Yeah. What's it called? We saw on the bus too. We got this other argument where Johnny and Jamie kind of got into it. And Johnny felt that Jamie wasn't doing his part as a cousin and a team player by kind of not handling the whole Cara, Thomas, and Abram situation. Is any of that Jamie's fault?
I think Jamie's handled himself very well this entire time. I think he stayed pretty calm. I do think he could have kept Cara Maria in check a little bit, but why the hell would Jamie go rat on his cousin?
Right.
That makes no sense. I think if I were him, I would be like, Cara Maria, you should probably say something. This is going to blow up. But maybe he did. We could have not seen that.
But he's also getting Cara saying to him, like, I'm scared. I don't want to be with him. So, I mean, who knows? So we get to the challenge. It's called Hand Me Down. And basically, you have to get all of your team players, whoever gets the most players from one beam to the other by, like, doing this Tarzan rope thing. We've seen something similar to this before. Steamer, what have you been thinking about the challenges this season?
I mean, I don't think any one of them has really jumped out at me in terms of being, that looks pretty cool. Most of them are just sort of like retreads of what we've seen before, and not in a good way.
Steamer, that cockroach one.
Yeah, that was pretty fun to watch. As was the trivia, but in terms of like actual like cool badass challenges, like I want to see some sort of thing like we see on Survivor, like something like really hardcore, and just not seeing it right now.
I thought the pit was awesome.
Sick. This pit was
especially just because the producers, because of what the situation was and the home record title for it was awesome. All right, but Hand Me Down. So now we know why last week we had Anissa, or was it 2 weeks ago?
A couple weeks ago.
Anissa called in, and now we know why she said about this week, because you pussied out and you quit.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's just sad.
I was so bummed that she did that.
I was too.
I wanted her. I mean, I can't judge because I don't think that I would not do this. I'm not afraid of heights, but I do think I might fall because my legs like loosen up. But I just wanted to grab one rope.
Yep.
One.
Let's try.
Do something. Because I mean, she always talks about like, and other people talk about how good of a competitor she is, and she is completely bitched out on this one, just without no effort at all. She didn't put in any effort.
And I didn't like the way she was talking to TJ in that moment too. She's like, "Don't give me that face, TJ." Why? Because
she knew TJ was disappointed.
Right.
TJ hates quitters, and especially like for a veteran like that, she's done how many challenges and she just quits like that.
And she knew it was a guy's one, so that's why she.
Yeah, it was 100% because she knew it was a guy's one, which I think is effed up.
Yep.
I think that's messed up.
I agree.
That's weak.
All right, so she quit. Thomas kept talking about these rumors, and he's gonna he's not going in the pit. And as he goes across the thing, we hear Abram screaming, "Die, die, 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 die! Drop, 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 drop!"
Mm-hmm.
Must have been a long day. He felt the second to last rope. Abram was happy, and I'm like, he's on your same team. We've seen Kellyanne. She made it. Kellyanne killed it, actually. She did that really quickly.
Yeah. She's becoming one of the strongest female competitors for sure.
Steven made it.
This season, definitely.
Yeah.
Steven made it, even though...
Wait, can we talk about his noodly arms?
Even though what's-her-name was saying he had noodly arms. He made it across super quick.
Yeah, but I have a theory that direct-to-camera about the noodly arms might actually be...
For the later on?
Yeah.
Because she did mention it twice.
Yeah. But the noodly arms was funny. Like, Jenna, you make the weirdest comments.
Poor Mitch, I wanted him to get across. We saw him with the 3 ropes.
It was so shaky.
At once, yeah, that was, once you're there, you know you're going to fall. Vinny went way too fast, but I don't know what he was on.
This wasn't even a timed competition.
George of the Jungle?
Yeah.
Corey, shout out to Corey, he flawlessly got across. Jamie felt the last one. Red team ends up winning because of Cara Maria.
Yeah, Cara Maria, who was like, I really shouldn't win this one. And then she went and won it for them. So who does that mean didn't compete? Because Cara Maria ends the competition. So Mike didn't compete. Mm-hmm. Who else did we get not competing?
Girl, my brain is too many other places right
But
now.
Abram did. Steamer, do you know who we didn't get?
Not top of my head, no.
I'm trying to think of who all the other people is. It'll come up as we go on.
Anissa's cousin didn't go.
Oh, Brianna. Or Rihanna.
Yeah,
and Brianna didn't go either.
Brianna.
And Jenna
didn't go. Jenna, yeah. Huh.
All right, so we get to Elimination Day. Mike volunteers himself.
And Rafi and Dario.
We didn't even see them at all. Wait, didn't they go home?
Yeah, they're out.
Girl.
Oh, they left.
Thankfully.
I forgot they left last week. Well, I forgot that I didn't talk about it on the after show. Those were good episodes too. Those
Yeah,
two
last week's were good.
Oh,
Make sure you
yeah.
check out our AfterBuzz after shows because someone didn't.
No, I didn't,
just
but I did
kidding.
watch the episodes.
No, because the season was here.
I kind of missed them.
Who?
Now we've got no twins.
I told you. There was something about them that they were like the bad guys that you didn't want to like, but you liked them. Because
Yeah.
it was like Jersey Shore on MTV. All right, so Thomas wants Jamie to go home, and that's where Kara's like, well, easy then. If you want my cousin to go home, then shoot. I'm voting in your brother.
So that was kind of a stupid move because she wouldn't
Very
have
dumb.
otherwise. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, so
why
she
wouldn't in
said,
that case? Why wouldn't you try to get Bananas and his cousin out? I mean,
that's what I'm
That's
just
That's what I'm
Steven.
saying.
Just go. Just bite the head of the dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tom's mad because Abram called everything out on the bus, and he kind of mumbled that, and Abram was sitting there and said, "What'd you say?" Tom's face got beet red, and he was like, "Because you called everything out on the bus. Why are you mad at that? Don't have sex with someone's girlfriend.
Yeah.
When you have a girlfriend, don't blame Abram. This isn't Abram's fault." Like, you ignited the flame. That's like being like, oh, it's the fire's fault that, it burnt the forest down. Well, yeah, if you didn't light the damn tree on
Match, yeah.
fire, we wouldn't have the problem. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, Thomas. I'm just looking side-eye at you. So, we get to elimination. Mike wants to compete. Steven gets thrown in.
I'm so about Mike.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all about Mike.
I'm all about Mike.
I mean, he's just
Baby
like a little
Abram.
less crazy than Abram, but like, I love that he's tried to put himself in twice and he likes to compete, and he's like, I think he's a good dude.
Yeah. One thing I did right, though, is I wonder what home life is like for Mike and Abram.
That's true. Interesting.
Really intense if Abram was my older brother.
Yeah, really, really.
Don't know if I would wish that upon anybody.
Yeah.
So we get to the thing. Thomas, it was cute that, you weren't scared and you compared this competition to beer pong, nothing like that, as we saw.
Yeah.
We get to the pit. The game is called Home Wrecker.
Amazing.
I loved it. Destroy everything in it and get it through this tiny
Yeah,
hole.
but
in the
even the
wall.
fact that it's called Home Wrecker,
Yeah.
I was like, this is a goddamn brilliant. I love the show.
Genius.
Yeah.
Mike versus Steven. And I just have to say, the build up to this, Abram warning his brother, like, look, I'm going to psych this guy out. Are you cool with that? Abram bumping into his brother, bleeding. Like, it was just so intense.
All right.
It was too much,
His
honestly.
nose was bleeding though.
That
He was
was-
all I'm calling it now. I think that there's some substances going up that nose.
And we ain't talking Coca-Cola.
No, we're not. This guy, he's on one.
Yeah.
And this is just my feelings. This is no evidence.
Yep, no one knows if this is true or not. This is totally allegedly, but the way he was reacting, I have seen that with drunk people who drink and partake in Coca-Cola situations.
Mm-hmm.
Steamer, what did you think about the build-up?
About what?
About the build-up to the pit.
I thought it was amusing when like Abe's getting all crazy and like so Mike sees Abe getting crazy, so he realizes he has to try to get a little crazy.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of like most of the Bloodlines this season. They're just trying a little too much to be like their partner.
Yeah.
Right,
Like
because
none of them like really have their own personality, and that just to me sums it up a little bit.
they're not the ones that tried out to be on television.
That's so
like,
true, because
they're
look
all-
at Jenna's cousin.
Yeah.
Try to be
I know.
ditzy.
I know. It's crazy.
All right, so we get to this situation, and I mean, Mike killed it, and from perfect form to hitting down, and just knowing where Steven and Thomas come from. Money,
Yeah.
they come from
Tennis.
tennis, and then it's just versus
Beer
the
pong.
hardworking, everyday construction type guy to the ritzy tennis player, and we saw that in their forms. And I mean, I'm sure I would have a much more difficult time than Michael had doing the same thing, but I don't know. I just, for Steven, it just, I wanted a little more effort.
Yeah.
Or Thomas, tell him how to hold the damn thing. If you sitting here looking at this boy with perfect form, tell your brother he ain't got good form. Fix
Yeah.
his form.
Yeah. Completely agree. He was screwed from the second this challenge was announced.
Yeah. Because first of all, it was just I dream of that. There's actually a place in New York where I don't know if it's still around. This was 10 years ago.
When you break the plates?
You can go inside a room, like they create a room for you, and you get to destroy everything in the room. It costs so much money, but you get to destroy everything. It's an aggression thing.
Cool.
So when I heard this, I was like, oh my God, sign me up for that. But...
And the TJ's face thing. And Abram's like, don't you dare celebrate right
You're not done!
Yeah.
What a good way to go, champ.
Oh, then when he licked the blood from his nose, too?
Too much.
Too much.
And then at the end of it, we saw Mike win, and Cara Marie talking to Jamie, where she says that she doesn't want to be with Abram anymore.
Yep. It's unhealthy, and she was going to leave him when she got home and whatnot.
And that continued into the after show. And what did you think of the after show? I mean,
this after show was absolutely nuts. I think it was one of the best after shows that I've seen so far, because Abram started it by causing this whole massive scene like that he needed to watch with Cara Maria because he didn't want to watch by himself, and he was like, it's not going to be that big of a deal. And Cara Maria was like, no, trust me, it's going to be. And Abram was like, honey, we're fine. And she's like, no, like, we're not. And then she couldn't even look at him the whole time. She like couldn't look at him, and he was like, wait, what? Like he just seemed so hurt. And at the same time, he was like aggressive about that pain, and she was such a victim in tonight's episode, even on the couches in the after show.
Yeah.
I hated that she kept making herself the victim. Like, yeah, I get that he's scary and yells at you, but like, God damn it, you cheated on your boyfriend on national television. You did that with somebody in a house that he came into and in a world that you're a part of. That's disrespect.
Where even if it didn't get out on camera, somehow in text message, Twitter world, it gets out. It
and
always
then she
does.
even on camera, even tonight, when Zuri Hall's like, how do you feel about Tom? And she's like, obviously we were attracted together. We made out a lot. Like, she never says, like, I messed up.
Yeah,
I never should have done this. I love my boyfriend. It was the heat of the moment. 100% only about the game. Like, she's just so wishy-washy about the whole thing.
It looks to me like she's really trying to find it out with Abe, but she doesn't want to come off looking like it's her fault.
Right. And then finally at the end when he says, I still have your back. That's what made me really sad, because I think he is scary, but at the end of the day, he was like, even right now, to this second, I have your back. And she was like, well, I guess I love you. Like, obviously. Yeah. That's not the same thing. You do not have his back. He might not be the right person for you, but I truly believe he has her back.
100%.
I don't think she has his back.
Nope. What do you think, Steamer?
I agree. Like, my biggest complaint with Cara Maria throughout many of her seasons has been the fact that she just always wants to play the victim. Like, I don't know if it's intentional or just the way she is, but she's always, oh, why me? Why me? Sooner or later, you just gotta just stand up, own up for what you did, and say, yeah, I did this. I didn't like our relationship. And just own it. Just don't be like wishy-washy, like he constantly is.
Yeah, say yeah, I cheated on you because I didn't love you and I didn't have the balls to break up with you at the time, but now we're done. Or say, I cheated on you and I take it back. I regret every single second. But like you're saying, Steamer, it's just every season. And I love Cara Maria, but I'm kind of sick of seeing this. I'm sick of it. And when he comes out and he's like, she's all yours, and he's like, I don't want her, and then Cara Maria, like, realize as a woman at that point, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's when you...
Go ahead, Steve.
At the same time, like, we don't really know the extent of like what he's done in the relationship. Like, why does she want to end the relationship with him after she got back? Maybe
like, just say what
behind her back.
No,
we don't know. It's the fact.
But say it then.
But then
we're on the platform.
Yeah,
we're on the platform for you to do it. It's not like you already aren't dragging each other's name through the mud.
I agree with you, though. Yeah. We don't know what's happening, but at the same time, it's always your option to leave.
Yep.
You can always leave.
Which isn't as easy as we make it sound.
I'm not saying it's always easy to get up and walk out, but it's your right and your choice. And this is, like you said, a perfect platform to say something. If something's going on that we don't know of, that we should know of, then she should say something. And maybe she doesn't want to on TV, which makes sense, but you have to get help. If something's up, you need to protect yourself.
Because she just looks like every time she wants to get away from him, she can't say why. Like, she has to hold something in. And so for that reason, if this was Shark Tank, I would tell you I'm out.
Yeah.
All right, so before we get into predictions, Steamer.
Stop the steamer. Stop the steamer.
All right. You know, our dear friend Andrew Kirk has one that he needs to stump you. You know, he just be like looking for the craziest questions. All right.
Yeah.
And if you guys have a Stump the Steamer questions, you guys can send them in. Hit me up at DJ Jesse J or Roxy at
Roxy Striar.
Roxy Striar. Here we go. What are the last 2 challenges that Johnny Bananas wasn't on?
Oh boy.
No, this is one.
Oh, it was the one that Frank and Zach won. So was that Battle of the Seasons?
Correct. Ding, 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 ding.
That's one.
One more. And I'll give you a hint. It is a part of a part 2.
Oh, it's let me see. Wait. No, it wasn't. Cuts. Press me 2.
Yep. Congratulations, Steamer. You have not been stumped.
Go Steamer.
Alrighty, on that note, let's head into predictions.
And now, your Afterbuzz TV predictions.
All right, engineer.
I wonder
Great key points.
how we're pulling in CT and Faith. I wonder, like, is somebody leaving, or are they just coming in for 1 week?
Well, I'm just looking at, like, technically they should just be on the show because we lost 3 teams in one episode and only got 1.
I know. I really
So
don't
they
know.
should be on the show. They should have been brought on last week.
I think probably they were brought on to stay, and then CT tries to punch somebody in the face, and they have to leave the same week they come or something.
Crazy.
I know, but I'm really excited to see.
Well, it looks like
DM's
CT versus
Bloodline,
Anthony, though,
which is-
right?
Yeah, maybe.
That's what it looked like it
Yeah.
was?
Vince. Wasn't it Vince?
Was it Vince?
I
Oh,
don't know. I have a hard time telling the two of them
yeah.
apart sometimes in the previews.
Banana's cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and DM's bloodline. It's,
Faith, yeah.
interesting how we're tying those 2 together. I know he used to, be with DM, but still.
I love that though. I love that they're bringing it back. It will be cool to see.
Yeah, especially hear her side of like how everyone kind of in the family handled that.
Yeah, and also CT, as you guys know, is one of my favorite players of all time. So anytime he's there, I'm all in.
All right. Well, Steamer, what are you excited? Who do you think's gonna really take this to the end?
I don't know. I want to say Bananas since I don't know what it is that I'm actually rooting for Bananas this season. I don't know where I've sunk in my life that I'm rooting for Bananas.
Steamer,
but
no.
he's the one
I
wanna
just had
win.
a conversation. I've never liked Bananas, but there is something about him this season that makes you just like, I'm not even mad at you. I don't know what
I
it
don't
is.
know if it's because of him or because I don't like anybody else, but I'm rooting for Bananas, so he's my pick to win.
Roxy?
I think he just got through his toughest hurdle and broke up this alliance. It's not even whether I want it to be or not, but I think Bananas is taking it all the way.
Interesting. I feel like it's going to come down to Abram. I feel like it's going to be vets. All down to the end. I think one rookie team will make it in. And I'm kind of feeling like it might be Corey and Mitch to the final.
Maybe.
But I definitely think of vets taking it.
I don't know
Who
if
it
Mitch is strong enough. I miss Nani. Nani was like,
Yeah.
I miss having her on the show.
All I know is, y'all, I can't wait for this season to end so we can watch next season.
Okay, but the season's great too.
No, but I love the season. Love you, MTV, and love that I'm here and it's going to be great. All excited for it. But anyways, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit us up everywhere at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And please help us out by subscribing to us over at iTunes. Leave us some comments. A 5-star would be great.
Beautiful.
To outweigh the haters. All that love, we really appreciate it. Tweet me everywhere at DJ Jesse J.
You can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar.
Steamer, where can they hit you up?
At the Steamer.
Boom. Till next week. Same time, same place. Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Afterbuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the Afterbuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of Afterbuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.